So there. Just a quiet night. No agenda. This is a Seattle Pipe Club's Deception Pass. A Morgan owns pipe. It's about 91 degrees. Yeah, I'm just doing the streams just to stay in touch with people. So having this is club soda with apricot, cherries, blueberries, and that's it. So just something to hydrate, have some nice ice cold fruit, one big giant ice cube. Yeah, it's a nice hydrating drink. You know, you all see that? And I haven't put apricots in drinks before until like this year, and I'm really digging it. Really digging the apricots tremendously. I just take a whole apricot and cut it up into pieces. Mm, so good. Regular cherries and one maraschino cherry. Blueberries. It's just so refreshing. You know, alcohol is very dehydrating, so you got to be careful of alcohol consumption when it's hot out. Be real careful. Happy birthday to Greg Boswell. Yep, it's a good day. Had a good day at work. No coaching today. I do most of my coaching on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I'm going to uh, in the future make that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and definitely keep Sunday a day of rest. That's super important. So I'm looking thinner today, huh? It's the same. It's the same. What's up, Dolly? Good to see you. How does it pair with the pipe? It's not bad. It's not bad. It's uh, I don't like things overly sweet. So, like if I make a cocktail, I'm not one to add simple syrup, and I'm not one for like the really sweet schnapps, that kind of stuff. It's crazy. So, just plain fruit, club soda, ice cube. That's it. Big ice cube. The ice cube is 2 inches by 2 inches by 2 inches. I like putting one big giant, you know, ice cube in. Where would I live if not PA? Florida. Love Florida. I really do love Florida. I love the hot, like what I'm experiencing right now. It's hot, humid. It's 91 degrees. This is Florida weather. So sitting out like on a under a covered porch, off the back of the house with a ceiling fan going, to me, it's nice. I really enjoy that. And pipe smoking really, my pipe smoking is pretty rare. I mean, you've seen me a few times doing it, you know, and some people think I'm smoking all the time. I'm not. I just fire up on occasion. Usually in the summer, it goes down quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, John, I hear you about 4 seasons, you know. Here's the weird thing about my life right now is, the kids have been launched, and now my parents are getting older. And, my dad's got very aggressive cancer right now. So we're doing all kinds of weird uh, treatment, hoping for the best. And, so what I might end up doing is going to Florida and helping them out. I have the freedom to do so. You know what I mean? I don't have kids. Um, I'm single. So I'm free to do that. And it's, you know, and the beauty of being single and free is that you can do that. You can move somewhere, take care of your parents in their last years, you know? So, and that's a calling. It's a calling. It's not, I mean, who wants to spend their last years just like totally alone? That would kind of suck. So, I mean, if I have more children, which I could very well do, um, that would give me another reason to, get up, stay in shape, and all that stuff. Even though I'm a good reason to do all that. I like the idea of being a parent. I love the idea of being a husband. But I will tell you this: someone asked me today, why would I want to get married now after I've already, been there, done that? Well, when you get older, you marry for different reasons than you do when you're younger. You don't marry for love because you learn that love is just like this fleeting feeling. You marry for companionship, partnership, uh, you know, things like I love museums, I love art, I love the symphony. I've done that by myself, and I've done it with a woman. And for me, going to a museum with a woman that appreciates art, what a great what a great experience that is. Going to the symphony with a wife, love that. To me, that would be great. So that's that's where I'm coming from. It's not for everybody, I know that. And what I'm not going to do is try to convince you that it's for you. Like the guys that don't want to get married, they're so hell bent on trying to convince you to not get married, and then also tell you like about the hell. What what guy hasn't had his heart crushed? I'm just talking to the guys right now. What guy hasn't had his heart crushed by a woman? You know, I know Jordan Peterson. Yes, he's going to be on this show. So, yeah, when two people um, enjoy silence together, you know, my my idea of life is silence, solitude, and service, the three S's. And to me, that's what Christian life is all about. And unfortunately, I did not live that way for, a long time. And marrying a quiet woman is a beautiful thing. Marrying a woman that enjoys solitude, doesn't have to be just talking all the time, which would drive me nuts. My marital home will be a quiet, peaceful place. And then serving. I love the idea of me and my wife going to a nursing home once a month or a prison with our dog, therapy dog or something like that, and just going from patient to patient or from inmate to inmate. You know, you know how sometimes I read to you here once a month. Me and my wife go somewhere and read to inmates in jail somewhere. Just read a story, read a couple chapters in a book. So that's the kind of things that I like to do: silence, solitude, and service. You know, and doing it by yourself. Been there, done that. Been there, done that. I like the idea of of having a partner. But if that partner doesn't happen, then there's no, I'm not counting on it. But it's a great way to live. Yeah, you went to a nursing home and read to a blind man. That's cool. I did. I visited nursing homes. My Prodeo et Patria award, which was God and Country award when I was in Scouts back in the '70s, was I developed a visitation program with a pastor. We visited nursing homes. It's something that I initiated, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, John, you get it. You know, you get it. I've traveled alone, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So chiropractic care. It all depends on what procedures are being used, but yeah, it's quite useful for many people. I've benefited from it. So Morocco in the house. How's it gone in Morocco? What's in the for those that just joined? What's in the glass tonight is just club soda, just water with an ice cube and some fruit, which is now ice cold. And I've been putting apricots in my drinks, and I really like the ice cold apricots. Yes, I remember you very well. New York City, I remember you very, very well. That was a nice visit. It truly was. Yeah, when I shaved the beard off, I put the hair in a suet container, a suet cage. It's usually gone within a few days. I see the birds taking the strands out, and they just weave it into their nest. So somewhere there's a gray-haired bird's nest around here. Yes, Alex, I've done the smoking whiskey glass. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It really is. I do. One of the reasons why I like whiskey because I like the smoky, oaky flavor. Yeah. Missouri Meerschaum, what a great pipe that is. They are just such good pipes. And a briar pipe is wonderful too. Everybody should have one of each, minimum. But I just thought I'd come on and say hi for a little bit. I'm gonna crash on time tonight. Got the truck fixed today. I had to get a new exhaust system from the manifold all the way back. There's 3 catalytic converters. It's crazy. Synthetic oil change. What else? Front brakes needed something. Do I get more compliments from ladies with this type of beard or short, thick stubble? This kind of beard. Michael Anthony, a beard nest. I roast 1 pound of coffee at a time. I've never had that kind of scotch, John. I was talking to a woman today, and she says, your beard grows fast. And she says, I love your beard. I love your beard. And she says, I love it when it's a little bit longer in the winter. She said, when you are a little more Santa Claus looking in the winter. You know, I can appreciate that. Not a lot of women would say that. So, I don't measure my meat. Boy, that came out wrong, didn't it? How many grams of meat do you eat on the carnivore diet per day? My response was, I don't measure my meat. That sounded weird, didn't it? Someone's going to get, somebody is going to get like they're going to grab that video and spread that around. I don't measure my meat. That's crazy. I eat until I'm full. And I always, whenever I eat meat, dried meat or whatever, I always have a pint of water, 16 ounces of water. Yes, I still write with fountain pens. I don't inhale my pipe tobacco. Nope. Yeah, if you just Google estate pipes, there's just so many things on the web to research pipes. Yeah, definitely. We were taught the metric system when I was in grade school, and then the United States never really converted to it. Atlanta, right? Isn't that funny? Some guy asked like how many grams of meat I eat, and I said, "Well, I don't measure my meat." Oh, gosh. What 3 figures from history would I like to have dinner with? Oh, that's always a great question because you could ask me that question once a week, and I'll give you a different answer every week. Truly, probably Apostle Paul, Saint Francis, giving religious answers, and Pope Urban. from 1100, 1110. What's the advice every man in their 20s should hear? Keep your zipper up. Everyone else on YouTube is telling you to put your zipper down and get busy. Well, Bill, I have conversations with Jesus every day. So I have dinner with him every day. I give thanks to him every day. So, and that's not like a smart aleck answer. I have a new God consciousness. That sounds weird. And I'm not talking like in a new agey kind of way. It's literally the Orthodox view of praying without ceasing. You know? So I just feel like I talk to myself. Like you have no idea, man. I'm in the shower and I'm talking. I'm having conversations like with the Lord. It's like I'm in a therapist's office. Yeah, I think I would have been different if I didn't get as involved as I did. Yeah. A lot of direction of my life was caused by women and pain, a certain percentage of it. So let's say like a third of it. 2/3 was like goals and creating my own direction. Other things were reactions to pain. Like, like when you get divorced, you just don't continue. It's not just business as usual. You literally have to pivot and create a new life, you know? So, you know, um, like I said, I mean, I have hundreds of women's breasts in my mind, like in my vision, you know what I mean? And what I don't want to do is like, I was man is meant to have a wife in his youth and to rejoice in the wife of his youth. And, the scripture says, may her breasts satisfy you and may you be drunk in her love. So, yeah, so what I did was I put the images of a lot of women's bodies in my head. So if you mention a name, ding, a vision of that woman comes to my mind. Someone says Bonnie, ding. Actually, there was 3 Bonnies, ding, 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 and I can picture each one of their bodies. I can relive the sexual experience in 2 seconds, just like, well, actually not experience it, but in my mind. I mean, just so many women. I don't want to say it messes your head up, but imagine if all of that energy was put towards one woman. And I know a lot of people did that. And I did it in marriage, but uh, and it hurt when it all crashed, like 20 years ago. But the reality is, you react to that, and the people who meet you during that reaction phase of your life see a different you than you really are. So now, many years after Bonnie's bodies, that's that's funny. That's funny. But what happens is uh, when you're done reacting, when you're done suffering, when you're done feeling sorry for yourself, you become a different person. And it's just like I live without compulsion right now. I have zero compulsion. I have zero hunger, like zero hunger for anything. I have no hunger. My hand is not gripping anything tight. I'm just welcoming stuff in, like the tide from the ocean just coming in. I welcome it. certain things I am pursuing, like wealth. Like wealth isn't just going to come to you, but I spent many years working for wealth and working hard too. That's another lie that you believe. Like like hard work is a virtue. I just want to. I don't know who taught me that. I want to smack them. It's smart work. Smart work wins over hard work any day of the week, any day. So I'm really chill about things. I don't. I'm driven in a very private way, a really private way. How do you handle women with intermittent explosive disorder? Well, decades ago, I would have told you marry them. That's a joke. Um, you don't handle them. They're trouble. They're time bombs. Period. Who was my favorite philosopher? God, that's a good one. Again, that's another one of those questions. That's like, which one of your children is your favorite? Right? Like I just signed up for a lecture series with ICC, the Institute of Catholic Culture, and I'm not Catholic, but they have an educational series. If you go to ICC, the Institute for Catholic Culture, they have seriously one of the best lecture series. Like yesterday morning, I listened to uh, a lecture on classical music from a Christian perspective. Amazing, just amazing. It wasn't technical. It was from a philosophical Christian perspective. So check it out, Institute for Catholic Culture. You'll actually love it if you're Catholic or not. It, it, being Catholic is not a prerequisite to enjoy the series. They have a C.S. Lewis uh, lecture called The Inklings about C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien that you have to listen to. You will love it. Love it. So 3 weeks ago, favorite composer, Bach. Um, 3 weeks ago, if you asked me who my favorite philosopher was, I would have said Vladimir Solovyev. Hmm. So that's who I really enjoyed 3 weeks ago. Favorite French author. God, I have to think about that one. Should people take risks? God, yes. Yeah. Risks are very good. You 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 get nowhere without risk. You have to risk. I remember years ago there was a Geraldo show. I mean, I'm talking it was about 30 years ago. And he had like 10 entrepreneurs that were self-made multimillionaires. They were sitting on stools in a semicircular position. Geraldo had a microphone, and he was asking questions to them. He wrapped up the show, by saying, "What is the one thing people want to know how to get rich? They want to know how to obtain wealth. What's one word that you would give to people as advice? And he went from person to person with the microphone, and they said, risk, 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 risk. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the hat is the Strength and Honored Motorcycle Club. It's a gift from Bryant Halstead. I am an honorary member of the Strength and Honored Motorcycle Club out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. So thank you, Bryant. Amrit, what's going on? All I did was put a bunch of fruit in club soda tonight with some ice cubes. That's it. So. Mhm. Cherries, apricots, blueberries. All right, let's see. As a man of faith, what is your opinion on atheists and agnostics that hold traditional Western moral values in high regard? I don't. I don't need my neighbors to be Christians. I need my neighbors to be moral. That's what I need. Now, I believe all truth is God's truth. So morality really is a taste of God. It's a when a person is moral, they're actually displaying one of the godly virtues. So if this guy on this side here is an atheist and the guy on that side is an agnostic and they're both moral, I don't care. I love that. That works. They make great neighbors. And that's what's important to me. As a matter of fact, both my neighbors on this side and this side are a different religion than me. My whole street, Jewish, Catholic, agnostic, Shinto, Buddhist, Muslim. I'm just thinking of the neighbors down the street. And this is not a huggy, kissy neighborhood. Like everybody's not best friends here. Everyone waves towards one another. Like, hey, how's it going? But people get along and they're moral. And that's what matters. So I don't judge people. When I was a younger man, I would be more judgmental. And I became very aware of my prejudices in stages to the point now where the only thing I'm prejudiced against is assholes. That's it. Everything else doesn't matter to me. But if you're an asshole, that matters to me, especially if it affects my life. Go be an asshole on your own. Just don't let your assholiness, there's a new word for you, affect my life. So there's a long answer to a short question. Yep. Yeah, being civil and friendly is far better than fake affection. Yeah. Older doesn't necessarily mean wiser. You have to actually. I've known a lot of 75-year-old assholes. I will tell you that. Wisdom is a choice. Wisdom is learning from your life and other people's lives and coming up with a code of conduct based upon behavior that was either good or bad, rewarded you or punished you. Should people learn to draw or some form of art? Yes. Some people are horrible at creative stuff. I love being creative. I paint, I draw, I write music, I carve wood, I build things, and I love it. To me, it's literally exercising what God has given me. I know people that don't have a creative bone in their body. So not everyone is a creative. Some people are just service oriented. And that's it. They can just serve or just build, paint by numbers, so to speak. But I I can write a story. I can tell a story, literally. Just give me a blank piece of paper and a pen, and I will write a one-page story that will be compelling. Did that take a lot of practice? Yeah, it did. You become good at it after a while. Wisdom is a choice. Wisdom is a choice. That's what it is. Michael Anthony says, to me, creativity is life. Yeah. Yep. Like Michael Anthony, there's some people here that I think would be good neighbors. I think you would be a good neighbor. Like, you're the kind of guy that if I came out my back door and you came out your back door and say, hey, what's up? I have a little drink in my hand or something. And we could just sit down, on your deck or my deck and just talk the night away, talk about everything from nutrition and diet to exercise to hiking to e-scooters. There's a thing that we have in common. I'm a huge fan of alternate means of transportation. Like when I go to Florida, I want to do powered paragliding. Where you have that like gas powered fan thing on your back, and you're on a parachute, and I just want to power paraglide down the beach, 50 feet up, at sunrise. I mean, it's better at sunset. You don't want to wake everyone up because they are kind of loud. But that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. That's the kind of stuff I enjoy. That's, to me, the biggest compliment you can give a person is you'd be a good neighbor. You'd be a good neighbor. G.K. Chesterton. Yes. As a matter of fact, C.S. Lewis was inspired by G.K. Chesterton. Yeah, there's a gal that I work for. What do they call that? Paddleboarding? Like they're bigger than a surfboard. And there's a gal that I work with that just bought one. She loves it. She loves paddleboarding. That's her new thing. Loves paddleboarding. Yeah, it is harder than it looks. There's a place called Paddle by the Sea. It's in Vero Beach, and and all of their no, not, is it Vero or is it Sebastian? I forget. And you rent the paddle boards for the intercoastal waterway. So I don't know how much it is, but yeah, I like Vero Beach. My family's in Melbourne, actually Melbourne Beach, so they're actually on the beach. How important is financial independence? Oh my God. I I tell people all the time, make money a priority. Without money, You're just always struggling with money. With money, you kind of live where you want. You drive what you want, eat where you want, eat what you want with money. Without that, you rob Peter to pay Paul, put off paying bills. So I don't want to say I love money, but I enjoy the process of making money. It's something I enjoy. So, as Derek says, money opens options. Yep. So money's good. Make money a priority. Make money. And if you're good at teaching, teach people how to make money. Money is a tool. Money is, yeah, right. Money is not the end goal. Like, big deal, you have money. It's a tool for what? Like Russell says, it helps protect you, it can feed you. All right, Matthew says, George, I've made the comment that romantic love activated a part of my brain and inspired creativity, the drive to be artistic. It lies dormant now. Yeah, you know what that's called? Having a muse. You know, I wrote I wrote a lot of music for my kids on guitar. I've written music for women in the past, play and sing. Thoroughly enjoy that. I've written very, very interesting material inspired by a woman. So, yeah, and don't, that's nothing to be ashamed of. That's the difference between the creative soul and just the robotic soul. You know? So I think it's a good thing. Uh, Many times, dormancy helps you realize that you need inspiration. I did a video on never ever date a muse. Never. I think they are exclusive. Yeah. I just I don't think a man should ever have sex with his muse. Never. Because then the mystique is gone. Part of the muse is the mystique. As soon as you lose the mystique, then there goes the magic of the muse. My opinion. So, but women can inspire you. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of guys would call me a simp. Like a lot of young guys that are just like recently red pilled, you know, and followers of like certain people. But my thing is this: is that women were made for men, not the other way around. Women were made for men, but men were given were commanded with the responsibility to love that which was provided for them. And what can mess that up for you is like when you go through divorce. And then you think like, that can't be true. That wasn't my experience. Your experience isn't always what everyone's life should be measured by. Like I always laugh at, like, well, I used to laugh at people that say, oh, we have a very, what's the word? Amicable divorce. I'm like, how the hell's it? Like, or I'm still friends with my ex. I'm like, well, then why the hell did you get divorced? I could never understand that. You know, Ben, if your muse is your girlfriend, your creativity is going to go up and down, up and down. Yep. Jennifer says she's still friends with her ex. That that's a different. It takes a different kind of spirit, you know, to do that. Not everyone can be. Not everyone can be friends with their ex. I can't be. I can't be. Uh, yeah. Ackley, email me, gb@georgebrew.com, and I'll give you all the information you need. I'm eating the blueberries that are in my drink right now. Marriage is not for suckers. That's what you've been taught. You've had the wrong teachers if you think that. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there forbidding people to marry. I will tell you right now that some of the greatest pain in the world will come from the opposite sex in a bad marriage. But some of the greatest pleasure will come from a marriage and being in a committed relationship. And you move from pleasure to joy, which is pleasure is external. You're pleasing me, I'm pleasing you. But joy is this deep thing. It's more than love. Love is a chemical feeling. So there's joy in commitment. People who are joyless, and you can name them, I can name them, I can give you names of people right now that you know that have zero joy in their life because they're not committed to anything other than themselves. You know? And that gets old. That gets old. I bought my first home with my wife. That's what I did. The next one that I get, I don't know. I think I'm going to rent for a year and to see if I like the area. That's wise advice, you know, for some people is like rent for a year and then decide where you want to be. It all depends. I know, Jen, you and your husband, you know, have your home in West Virginia, which is like the opposite of what I just said. So, but you knew what you wanted. And many times when you have a vision, you know, all of a sudden you know it when you see it. Hey, Peg Bell, good to see you. Yeah, grandfather would say, "Don't ever get married." I don't think my grandfather would have recommended to get married, but he got himself into trouble. He was fixing a lot of drains and plumbing in town as the town handyman later in his life. And I don't think that worked out well for him and my grandmother. So, my friend is living in British Columbia out of a travel trailer with his wife and 3 kids. He works out of town, brings them along. Nomadic Canadian housing is crazy here right now. That's a trippy style of living. Yeah, that is a trippy style of living. I have noticed that husbands die before their wives. Anyone else see that? Usually because the men are older than the women. You want to prevent that? Marry a younger guy. That's how you solve that problem. Well, Dolly, you should hang on to your current husband, right? He's the winner, right? What do they say? He's the what do they say? You did it till you got it right, you know? Third time is a charm. I've heard some people say. Actually, I knew a guy that said that, and he was very happy with his third wife, and he died, um, after 25 years married to his third wife. But his when someone asked him why three wives, uh, and he says, "Well, I did it till I got it right," and I thought that was cool. Jennifer says a lot of you guys are regurgitating lame shit. Yeah. Let me translate that for the other people. They're being cynical. And cynicism has its roots in anger. That's all. And anger is something you hang on to. It doesn't, anger does not exist in your heart or in your mind all by itself. It's something that you hang on to. And it's something you can change. That's all. To stay angry means to stay cynical. That's why there's so many channels, like YouTube channels, that are just all cynicism. You just want to feel like you got to take a shower after you listen to 20 minutes of this stuff. But I will tell you this, and Jennifer, you can attest to this too. A lot of the guys who are some of the biggest cynical, or come off as cynical, let me say that, on YouTube, you have met those guys, and you know they're cool dudes, right? And you kind of learn that, wait a minute, when they press record, they become cynical. There's a certain air that they have to have. And Jen, I know you know those guys. We both know those guys. And Kimberly, you met some of those guys too. Nicest, right? Nicest guys in the world, but when you watch their YouTube channels, it's like, right? So, all right, I'm going to stick to my guns and make it a short one tonight. Thank you for joining. You had a lot of choices tonight, but you chose to hang out with me for a couple minutes, and I really appreciate that. So, have a good one. I love you guys, and I'll see you again possibly tomorrow night. Good night.